All right, welcome to another episode of Comic Book Squares. We got another great one today. My name's Shane.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike. Let's get this show started.
All right, well, welcome to another episode. We've got an old friend of the show, Haydes, back on, and we're just going to kind of catch up and see where things are going with all the different projects you're working on. So, get us up to date.
Oh God! So since last time we spoke, we've continued to kind of grow the Our World part of ASAP. So this is like our in-house stuff. So this was all our own titles. That's now kind of shot up. We're still doing pretty much one a month for that. And that we've been doing that since May of last year. Someone had said to me last year that it was kind of impossible of a publisher of our size to do one a month. I immediately saw that as challenge accepted. And then in May of last year, it was like, got to go. And we did, and we actually went, and we were doing one a month. And we have continued on with that. It's been great. And what we've done as well is we've tried to give people books in a different way. So, for example, we've got a comic called Whole, and the entire issue is drawn first person. I had the joy of like physically showing that to a bunch of people at some cons recently. And I don't know, it's so weird that once people start to open it, they step back because it was almost like, I think when you look in third person, you tend to step in because you're taking in the person and the person. But they were all like, it's like watching my mum try and read something. You know, it's kind of doing that thing. But that was a great selling point with that comic. And then there was one where we'd converted part of our book into two trilogies. And in the first issue, we put a QR code on the inside cover. And we had got a composer friend of ours also, who is a podcaster and writer and comic book writer and author. He's a show off. He's a great guy. A guy called Morgan Quaid. And he had read these two stories in the comic. And then he wrote a piece of music based on how they made him feel. And we put that into the inside cover, and you can download it for free. And then you can listen to that piece of music while you read the stories and just feel rather than just read. Thank you.
It's very cool.
Yeah, and it was just that idea that you can just immerse yourself just a little bit more, just step in a bit. So we did that, and that was fun. And we're just converting the other part of the book at the minute, and then we're going to, once we get to like 4 issues with each, we're then going to put them out as trades. So we're going to bring out our graphic novels, and what have we got now? We've got Messiah, Sister Grimm, OPSEC, Person, Dead of Night, Points of Villainy, Points of Virtue. So we will have 6 graphic novels because Points of Villainy and Virtue will be part of one. So we'll bring out 6 graphic novels as well, which will be next year. So yeah, I mean, nice little box set.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be
so
cool.
You're not up to much.
No. That's just Our World. I just sit around just thinking of stuff. Sometimes I write it down and sometimes I forget. Now I'm getting old, often I forget. But you know, that's the stuff on our platform. And then since we last spoke, the NE1 World has grown substantially. So when we had last spoke, we got the NE1 World, and that's where that was our platform for other creators, and we were publishing people through that. And then what I decided to do in February was kind of put it out there for digital and physical distribution as well as just the publishing side. So we still do that, and we'll publish you from conception of idea and you know, move it forward. But also, if you want another place where you can distribute as a self-published or as another publisher, it's another outlet. And since that, I wouldn't even say it's quadrupled. It's more than that. It's, we've gone from like one page to like 4 or 5. It's been fun to meet all these different creators. But yeah, no, it's it's gone crazy, and we're getting submissions like pretty much every day now. So
wow,
yeah, so I do
that's
love
awesome.
the NE1 World. Thank you. Yeah, it's been good.
And then what about Gig?
Gig, I came up with, so we actually launched Gig and did the expansion of the NE1 World around about the same time, because I'm an idiot and don't space things out. So Gig was an idea that had come to me of November of last year. And when you have that thing that you have an idea in your head and you kind of go, sure, because you're too busy. And then the problem was my brain then named that idea. And it's like, once you've named it, you've kind of got to go, okay, well, it's mine now. So I'm trying to ignore it, and my brain's going, Gig would be good. And I'm like, oh, no. So Gig stands for Global Indie Group. So it's globalindiegroup.com. And what I wanted to create was a place where, as a creator, whether you're an author, comic book writer, film, script writer, whatever, you can have a place where you can comfortably get everything that you need without bots, spammers, the noise of people's opinions, and so on and so forth. So it's a site where basically from conception of idea, you can join Gig, and then if for example you want to do a comic, you can go in and you go, I've got this idea, but I need a writer. There is a section just full of writers. Okay, cool. But now I need to check artists. There's a section for artists. Okay, I might need to fund this. There is training for how to crowdfund, and there are crowdfunding platforms that we partner with. It's like, that's cool. I need to promote this. There are companies who do reviews, such as Comic Book Squares. There are podcasts, and then obviously, I want to publish it, and there are a list of publishers with some other publishers in there somewhere. So it's literally from start to finish. You can get everything that you need, and get it out there, get it made, get it funded, and so on and so forth. And unlike things where you would have to pay on the site, where the site would take a slice off the top of, we don't do that. There is a monthly subscription, and that's just to keep the bots and the spammers out. But the monthly subscription is $5.99 a month, and you get full access for that. But when a deal is made, so let's say you make a deal with your artists, the deal is with them and them alone. We don't get involved there. We just help you get connected. And it was just an idea where I've been trawling through social media and trying to find people, and have to deal with spammers and bots and random messages from AI. And it's just like, and not only is it frustrating and you kind of get annoyed with it, but it's also, you can get to a point, especially if you're new, where you can get quite disheartened and give up.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than a few idiots ruining it for everyone else. So it's like, get rid of the spammers and the bots, and come to Gig and get your stuff made. And everyone's vetted on there. Everyone that is on there is someone that we've either had a working relationship with, or has come like highly recommended, and we've had a conversation with. So it's everyone on there, like, again, the podcasts on there, such as yourselves, everyone is indie friendly. Every podcast on there is designed to want to speak to comic book people, film people, authors, so it's kind of tailor made, really. That is Gig anyway. Yeah.
That's
awesome. Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. I remember when you first started telling us about the idea a while ago, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, one-stop shop is always a great idea. So
yeah.
Kudos.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. But yes, I launched that in February as well. So February, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it. So once you say you're doing something, you got you got to do it.
That's right.
But it's been good, and again, we've been out there and we've been promoting gig, and myself and Laurie Cunningham have been, we've been to conventions, her in Canada, me in the UK. So we've kind of been doing all of that as well, and getting stuff out there physically, and of course we've got all the digital stuff as well. So we're everywhere.
Yeah, Laurie's fantastic. Yeah, we were lucky enough to have her on the show, and she's just a great human being. So it was good to talk to her.
Yeah. She is. She's a real pain in the ass, but she's the best. She's my best friend. If she said worse about me, it's fine. When she watches this back, she'll be like, oh, but fair. No, I love her. She's wicked. But yeah, no, it's been busy, and I'm still very grateful I'm able to do this full time now. Very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, just your story the very first time that we got a chance to talk to you about, how the pandemic actually launched this all for you. I mean, it's just and how everything fell into place. I mean, it's just. I said this before we started recording. It couldn't happen to a nicer person. You're just a joy to talk to. So I'm just super happy about all the success that you've had. So
appreciate it. Yeah, it's been. And this year, obviously, we're celebrating 3 years as a company as well, which is it's weird. You know how time moves quickly and slowly at the same time. That kind of paradox of is it only been, but it has been.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating 3 years this year, which is it's a milestone for us.
Yeah.
Because also it was one of those things when I started the business, and you talk to people, in your real life, as people like to say now. That's how I'm getting old. You know how people like to say stuff now. Jesus. But yeah, when I first said to people, oh yeah, I'm going to do a publishing company and it's going to be comics, and people go, you're a grown up, right? Okay, then, you get a lot of that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, haha, people.
Shane, where would people find that original, like any previous interviews that you've done with Haydes? If this is their first time coming across this, where could they find more information?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, you just scroll down into our previous videos, and it'll have Haydes' name in the title. And then if you're listening to it as an audio, I believe that everything that we've done, both on YouTube is available on audio as well. So you'll be able to just scroll through and find it.
And when was that, do you think?
Oh gosh, well, I think we've had you on. This will be the third time. Is that correct?
Twice.
Sound about right?
Second time.
Just twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've just talked many times without being recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. I get them confused when we're recording and when we're not recording.
I think it was. I'm trying to think now when it was.
It's been almost a year now, I think.
I was going to say it has been a while. I also add all interviews that we do. I put them on a playlist in ASAP. So if people are looking at our channel, then they can see the interviews that we've been on, and then check out the channels of people that we've been on.
So. Thanks for doing that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
I've said this 1,000 times to a lot of people. Like podcasters, they're like editors are unsung heroes in publishing, and podcasters are unsung heroes in advertising. Yes, it's both of us who, you want content on your show, but it's like without us getting out there, I'd just be shouting and seeing if my neighbours want to buy some comics. And there's only so many times you can knock on those doors,
Exactly.
Yeah, just me looking through a letterbox going, the next issue's out now. So yeah, but no, I'm always grateful for the advertisements and stuff that we get. So thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had talked a little bit before we started the show today that you have a big event coming up this week. This unfortunately we won't have this edited before this that happens, but let's just tell everybody a little bit about that. So maybe if you're going to do it again next year, they can kind of know about it and be ready for it next year.
Yes, we're doing it every year because this is our second one now. So we didn't, it's called the NE1 Con. So we didn't do it the first year because it was just one of those things where it was just like, yay, made it. And then the second year, you go, should probably celebrate this now. But this will be our second NE1 Con. And what we do is over 2 days online, we do some shows. So we do game shows. We talk about the last year of the business. So we have day one kind of consists of the recap. So we recap the last 12 months. Then we've got a feature on the Our World section. Then we've got a game show called Nerds the Word, hosted by This Pillock. Then we've got a show called Author's Corner, because obviously we deal in prose as well. Then we've got a show called Drink and Draw, speaks for itself, Artists and Alcoholics. Then on day two, we've got the recap to cap the recap that we capped yesterday. I'm going to get that right until I'm saying it on a live show, and I'm going to be like the Kit Kat, Flip Cap, Copy and Kit Kat. So, and then we basically just recap the day before. Then we have a show called The Nerd and the Newbie, which is based off my relationship and friendship with Laurie. I've been a comic book fan since I was 8, and I dragged her kicking and screaming into comics 3 years ago. So it's just that kind of weird dynamic how you'd look at these different things. Then we have a show called Shoot the Ish. I won't say the actual word because I don't want to get in trouble, which is with my friend George Medina, and we look at different subjects and we basically shoot the ish over it. Then we have a show called The Horror Hour, because we deal with a lot of that in comics. And most times when people talk about comics, they talk about either anime or superheroes. And they're like, well, that's a big horror, dark, kind of community. So we're going to do a feature on that. And then we're going to do our own panel at the end where it's like a bit of a rolling thing where we're getting NE1 Worlders to come in and just say hi and, all that kind of stuff. So that's the 2-day literal rundown of what we're doing.
That's awesome.
Is there a website that we could direct people to find out more about this? Is there an NE1 World website, or is it found off of yours?
It's you can either visit asapimagination.com or NE1world.com. Each one of those will take you where you kind of need to go. But also we're on all social media as ASAP Imagination, and our YouTube channel is the same name. But yeah, it should be fun. It should be the good crack. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
And can people watch it virtually?
Yeah, so
like
we also
virtually.
Yeah, we invite people to join the chat a lot. So on our channel as well, we have a show where we promote the books in which we do, and things like that. And it's literally it's called the NE1 World Showcase, and we literally promote an artist each time there's a show on, and it's just a showcase on them, and they're literally interviewed by their peers. It's a great kind of little thing where the host is an NE1 Worlder herself, and we invite other NE1 Worlders to come in and chat with each other, and it's wicked because I really like the fact that people they want to uplift each other, and it's like, I know it's cliche, but it really is that kind of sense of like community and like looking out for one another as indies. And we say to everyone, like in that show, the best question in the chat wins a free digital gift pack from us. And
wow.
we do that on like, so for example, Nerds the Word, they'll, everyone in the chat is invited to play along, and then we've got Nem, who's the guy in the chair, so he's going to be backstage and keeping an eye on the chat, and whoever was basically there with the questions first will win a gift pack as well. So we try and be as interactive as possible.
Yeah, we should get a post up on like Facebook or whatever. Get a couple posts up just to even share about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because actually we are going to do the same thing on this episode. We have some gifts to give away. So post in the comments, and we're going to use a randomizer to select a couple of winners for some great merchandise that we'll be able to send to you. So go ahead and post something in the chat, in the comment section, and and be sure to like this and subscribe. I always say that at the end, but I should start doing that in the middle too, I think.
Yeah.
I got to be better. I got to be better about that. It takes a year and a half for me to get comfortable and get used to how to do this.
I'm the same now. When you go, right, there's a list of things I know I need to talk about when I go on a podcast, and then I'll finish the podcast and I'll go, there was you look at your list of 15 and you go, yep, I've missed 14 of those things. Well done. But I'm the first 14. One. Just 14. I'm getting better. But I'm the first person, if someone else is on a podcast and I'm watching it live, it's like when you're watching a game show at home and you know the answer and you're shouting it out. So it's like Laurie's on a live podcast and I'm going, don't forget to tell them about the website. I'm there going, tell them their website, you're crazy, And then she'll come off, and then she'll go, yeah. So now I know what you mean. I do exactly the same.
It's all good. So you got all this stuff, 3 years that you've accomplished. I guess looking towards the future, what can you tell us about what the future plans are?
So my plans are within the next 2 years. I've already started the ball rolling, but within the next 2 years is to turn us into a physical distribution service as well. So I'm currently building the catalogue for that, and I'm also making a move to speak to a bunch of franchise places over in the UK, in the US and Canada at the moment, just to kind of make them aware we exist. Because I've spoken to some and they're like, you have to be with a recognized distribution service. And I'm like, oh, you'll recognize me by the time I'm done. So kind of like, no. So my aim is, by 2025 to have us not just in on the shelves of indie bookshops or comic bookshops, but actually as everywhere as we can get. So that's all our own stuff. So when it kind of goes to trade and graphic novels, as well as the people through the NE1 World. So at the moment, I'm building up the catalogue, sorting out the ISBNs, registering, and so on and so forth. So that is the plan: is to turn it from, not turn it from, but literally go from, creation, publishing, distribution out the door, and literally, you can come to us with a conceptual idea, and by the time we're done, we can get you on a shelf. That is the aim. That is the hope.
Wow. Well, if anybody is going to get it done, you'll get it done.
Because I'm an insomniac. But also, thank you very much. But do you know what?
Sleep.
Oh, no, I don't need sleep. That's fine. It's no problem. I can just go grayer and wrinklier. I don't care. No one sees me. But what is good, though, is like, we've recently had, Christian Prospery is an author who we've just recently, his book's on pre-order, and he's like our poster child for how we do these other services, you see. So we do all the distribution and so on and so forth, and we do like loads of marketing, and all those, the marketing and such is free. You see, I don't charge for any of the marketing and but what we had to put in place was certain paid services, because you would have to pay for them wherever you go. So, for example, book editing and book formatting and so on and so forth. So Christian's book is an anthology, prose anthology. So we had the book edited. So we found him an editor who works. So we actually have people who work for us on, just for these kind of projects. So he needed an editor. We got him a price with an editor that was, a very good price. We got his book formatted, and one of our artists did the full jacket of his book. And
wow.
we're putting it out in digital and in print. So he's literally been the poster child of the system works, and and so on and so forth. And then with prose recently, one of the other things that we've done. So, for example, if you come to us if you've got a novel, by the time we're finished, there will be 4 ways in which people can get your book from that point. So it's obviously physical, the normal, like digital. So, a lot of people will get it on their phones and things like that. So the digital, like a PDF. But now we've added EPUB as well. So people can obviously search for it by chapters. It's much more structured. And recently we've just signed up with 6 or 7 voice actors, to do audiobooks. So we will be adding audiobooks to them. Thank you. And after I had a conversation with a lovely woman at a convention who loves comics, but she's quite visually impaired, so she has to get, she can see a lot of the artwork, but she can't read the captions, and she asked if we'd ever consider doing audio comic books, and I said, why the hell not? So it's something that we're going to look to do as well with the comics. Another way to get them out there.
That's fantastic. I've often thought about that. It's wonderful.
I love that. That is great.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. There's so many different ways and so many different mediums that people can get your stuff, and I think that however you find a way in, it's like once people are in, then there's so much more for them to look at and find. And the way we structure the NE1 World as well is slightly different to other people who might do websites like this, but we have it where you can look at the entire catalog. So you can literally go to all the digital of the NE1 World and go, right, okay, and have a good old scroll through. It's like opening a Lego box of, and going, I need all of these pieces. But you can also search by creator. So each creator has their own catalog as well. And then we also have it where digital and print are put separately. So again, however you want to find it, you're more than able to in different ways. And again, you might go into it as a comic book fan and leave with a novel or vice versa, which I think is great.
Very cool.
Thanks very much.
I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love everything you're doing. I mean, it just, I've said it 100 times, but yeah, couldn't be with a better person. I appreciate it. So.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you feel like we should cover on this episode? Just more stuff, or I feel like we've covered just about everything.
I think so. Yeah. I'm literally there going. The only other thing, so we've got our kids platform, which we're going to be giving a big boost for, which is called ASAP Minis. It's asapminis.com, and we are looking to add some new artists to it. I'm just having some conversations with some people at the moment to add some new titles to it, but also on top of that, maybe add some comic strips to the site as well.
Oh, nice.
And then we will be doing the book, which is actually based on my son, which is called, it's so weird to write, like I write such dark stuff over on the one side, and then I'm over here writing like cute stuff. It's like evil, la 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 la. But it's called Alpheus is Brave and Brilliant, and it's about a superhero with the powers of dyspraxia. So we've what we've done is we've taken all the parts of his conditions and we've turned them into superpowers. And that kid he's so smart, but at the same time ruthless. We were writing the book, and my friend, a dear friend, is the artist on the book. And then Alfie was saying to me, you know, he had say on the design of his character as well, because obviously it's going to be him. And in that book, he turns into superhero, so he has a costume. So he had certain diva like tendencies of how the costume should look. Honestly, an inch a mile, I tell you. Yeah. And so anyway, we did that, and then he sits there and he goes, Dad, this is your name going on the book. I said, well, yeah, I wrote it. And he said, is Adam's name going on the book? I said, yeah, he's the artist. And then he went, what about me? And I was like, you know your name's in the title, right? And he was like, yeah, but like I helped. And I did. So we're actually putting him down as creative consultant.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he hasn't come back to me with his contract and his share demands yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so we're going to give minis a push kind of within the next 6 months and give that a big kind of revitalize. And it's the NE1 World. Because of how quickly it expanded, I decided to give that kind of a good chunk of my time. So now we've got a handle on how that's going and growing. In the next kind of 3 to 6 months, I will do the same with minis, hopefully. There'll be more kids books out there, and my son will be rich apparently.
That's fantastic. I love that. Can't wait to read that one.
Thank you very much, man.
Creative consultants aren't free.
No, that's right.
They're not.
That's right.
They cost Mars ice creams. Yeah. That's definitely been on his list.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it though. But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we always love having you on here. I just appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and tell us all about everything. And I hope that this helps bring some awareness and people seek you out. You're doing some amazing work out there. And, we're just huge fans here at our show. So, please check it out.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Well, thanks for tuning in. This was another great episode. We love having, friends of the show come back on. So please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and we'll keep bringing you content like this. We'll see you on the next one.